Okay, it looks like we're streaming. Just waiting. Oh, once I can see it. Oh, there we go. Loaded. Cool. Okay. This is a bit of a weird one we're going to do tonight. It's just because I've been away. Oh, frog out the throat. I've been away for the past few days, so like getting videos prepped, is crazy mad right now. So I've been sitting here testing all day, doing some putting some decks together, getting ready for Nats and Euros and kind of all that jazz. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to do a late night Q&A session. I'll only do this for about half an hour to an hour. And I'll do some testing at the same time, which is why the camera's set up like this, which is why this is a mess, as you can see. So when I do tests with different decks, obviously I am going to be doing Therions. This, as you can see, is different colour sleeves and everything. But the idea behind this is I'm not set on what I'm putting in here. Obviously, because there is such a chunk of different sleeves, like it's 2 different sleeves, it's not like 3 or 4 different sleeves, there's no way of telling exactly what I've got. Now, I don't want to commit to that or to change anything. It's a bit of a weird way of doing it, but you'll see that throughout the test hands. These won't be perfect, these won't be everything, but this is basically that I've put 50, I think there's like 50 cards in here at the moment. I've smashed it all together. I'm going to test it out, and I'm just going to do test hand after test hand after test hand, and try and figure out the weaknesses, the benefits, and overall just kind of like what I want to be doing or how I want to take this deck forward. If I decide to take this deck forward, like I might actually change that and do something completely different. So yeah, this is just for one of those, anyone wants to come and chill, ask any questions, do whatever they want. I was like, well, I'm going to be doing physical test stands anyway. And I know a lot of you would be like, oh, well, why aren't you doing something like Dev Pro or anything like that? Well, in general, I'm not a fan of it. I prefer doing physical test stands and changing, because then there's no machine helping you. There's no kind of like notifications. It's all on you. You get used to muscle memory of physically seeing the cards or visually seeing the cards, physically moving the cards, changing around, doing what you got to do. So anyway, enough jibber jabbering, shuffling up, cutting up, and then just basically just doing a hand of 5. So everything's going to be random. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So hopefully you can see this clear enough on the camera, and we're basically just going to do like a live test. And like I said, any questions, let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer them. So this hand, I'm still kind of getting used to this. The reason I've got this is I really like punks. So I really want to play a deck involving punks. I like the synchro options it gives me. And I've got the Therions, so I really want to play the Therions as well. And I was like, okay, well, punk Therions is a great mix. But I've also put in the Brave package as well, because I'm still not set on it. Like, through testing throughout the entire day, I've done stuff where I've got, okay, well, I've got the Major Clash, which is a route to Xiaomin. There needs to be normal summon plus the Brave package. It's like, right, okay, neither of them are going to work. But then I've also had ones where it's like, okay, cool, I've opened up E-Telly and the Brave package, and I just go off hand. So anyway, this hand is fairly decent. I actually really quite like it. There is obviously another big negative that I'm finding on this deck as well, is it just loses to stuff like droplets and dart rulers and stuff like that. So I'm looking at other ways to change it. I did play ABC Brave Adventure. I took it to a locals, and I just didn't enjoy playing it. So I've kind of put it to one side, and this is why I'm going for this route instead. I might put them back together, but I feel that the issue is that they just need so much going for them. Like, all of your discards need to be the ABC pieces in order to get going. Anyway, so activate Ogre Dance. Ogre Dance will then search me out. Obviously, Xiaomin can then be my starter for this turn, so it doesn't really matter either way of how I do this. I haven't got access to the Brave package, but I might do later on if I mill it. So it's kind of like one of them ones where it's like, okay, well, if I hold it and wait, it can be quite useful for me as well. Regardless, like this is just like combo as it is. I'm trying to think if there's a way for me to save my normal, but I don't think there really is to do a huge amount. I can save my normal and do it a different route, but I don't think there's a way of saving my normal for the full punk route that you would probably want to do. So ultimately, all this would just be going a different route or over understanding of everything that's going on. But So Foxy Tune's effect, obviously the idea is that if you've got Gamma, you want to do all of this stuff first. So then you're kind of like, come on, like Ash me, try and stop me here, and I'm just going to, you know, Gamma, and I get everything I need for free anyway. Foxy Tune's effect, it discards itself for cost, it doesn't discard the card in hand for cost, so keep that in mind as well, that's quite important. So we're going to send the Lily, I probably should have kept, I'd probably keep the Lily. Let's get rid of, kind of want to keep the Ash as well. It's difficult when you get hands like this, because you're like, oh, I want to keep that, and I want to keep that. I suppose I could have done it a different way as well, actually, where I could have kept both. So I could have normal summoned the Z, activate the Z effect. Z can add anything. Like when you open up Foxy Dance, Foxy Tune and Ogre Dance, you pretty much have everything you need and you could possibly want. So we'll add the fish guy. So then we'll keep this. So we'll play this back a little bit and we'll actually discard this off of Foxy Tune. Which is a reason for it. I could actually bring it back. If I had another Punk in the hand, I could also fuse with it as well. So anyway, standard play here. Sync these together. Chaos Ruler Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2 is Deer Note. Now I actually quite like risking this at the moment. Like I really like the idea of bringing back a level 8 because it really depends on what your opponent's playing. Like if your opponent is playing a deck that wants stuff in the grave, then you don't go this route. You actually just bring back a tuner, so you just bring back this guy. Now this is why I quite like playing Spider, because you could bring back Spider with this effect, pay, and then you've got a trap card in case you do get your whole board turned off. But you know, it's give or take. It's a bit gimmicky. Anyway, so you do Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, then you've got Resolve Chain Link 1 to mill the top 5 cards of your deck. I mean, I'm contemplating putting Lambda in here, and that's why I'd like consider adding Gamma. I could add Foxy Tune, so I've got follow up for the next turn. Like it really doesn't matter off of any of that. I put that like let's add Driver. Woo! And then what you do here is you overlay these into the Zombie Vampire. Zombie Vampire detaches. Doesn't matter which one you do because the idea is you're going to link off. Now, what you need to do is you've got 4 cards going from your deck. Your opponent's got 4 cards going from your their deck, and you can actually summon any of those. So you just want to hit a tuner. Now, obviously, in this scenario, I want to hit a tuner. There we go. So, well, I've got 2 tuners there, which is great. So Zombie Vampire is going to summon this. Jet Synchron go to the grave. Plus, I've also milled the Argo systems. The Argo system can add me back. And I've got 2. Have I got 2 Therions in grave or just 1? Just 1. But I'll be able to get 2 in a minute. So this will be pretty cool. Now, like, I would hold everything back right now. Like, the only reason that you would go Lily Boa into Foom, send Foom, get the field spell, activate the field spell, get Regulus equip Foom, is to protect your Hali Fibrax plays. But the issue is, as soon as you start making those plays, Nibiru will wipe you out completely, and you'll have no comeback apart from, like, luckily you've got the Jet Synchron and you've got the Chaos Ruler, so you'll have that play to come back on. But if you do it this way, what you're doing is you sacrifice a Hali Fibrax hit for 2 forms of negate, so you're kind of giving and taking on that one. So Hali Fibrax effect will trigger. Now, obviously, we've already gone through our Jet Synchron, which would be our ideal target off of this. So for this one, I'm actually going to go with Gamma. You could go for any level 3 hand trap as a tuner, or of course you could go for a Fate Vader as well. Entirely up to you on like your direction of playstyle. I don't think there's really a much that I'm going to... Well, I suppose this does give me a 10 actually. This does actually give me quite a lot. So, where was I going with this? So, I mean... still actually take back everything I say. I still actually run into the same problems. Like I could still get Nibiru and completely stopped here with no fallback. So I suppose the only reason you do this is try and bait something out with Hali Fibrax. So, but what you do here is you can go Lily, target the Foom, Lily effect, send Foom, get your field spell, activate field spell, add you Regulus. Regulus. Well, before I activate Regulus, I can just, because I don't need the Lily now, I can sync those 2 together and go into Baron. Move that over there. Regulus can then target Foom, which gives me an Omni Negate, plus it gives me the ability to bounce during my opponent's turn as well. So during your opponent's turn, target Therion card in your spell and trap card zone, and 1 card your opponent controls, and return them to the hand. So that's really kind of cool. So you've got all of this. And then what you can do here is you actually get to go Jet Synchron. I'm actually going to discard the Foxy Tune because I don't need it. Summon it back. Banish a light and a dark. Doesn't matter which ones you get rid of. Bring back Chaos Ruler. Then you're going to sync these. Both of these are going to get banished. So then go there. And you're going to go into your Hot Red. Now you've got a couple of options here in theory. Now what I mean by that is I can actually activate the Endless Argo system. So I put the Endless Argo system back to the bottom of the deck and I add Lily back to the hand. Now I've already summoned Lily using her own effect, so I can't summon it again this turn. If I could, it would be really cool. But yeah, during my opponent's turn, I've got a couple of plays I can do. I've got the ability of Halley Fibrax into Riser. Riser will then be able to Foolish Burial a Fairy Tale Snow, which gives you another form of interruption. Or if you put in Token Collector, it will let you Foolish Burial the Token Collector. Plus you've got an Omni Negate here, you've got a Bounce here, Omni Negate there, Target Negate there. You've got quite a lot. But, as you can imagine, plus you've got a Veiler and an Ash in hand. If your opponent just went, okay, draw, standby, main, Dark Ruler, you kind of just go, yep, cool, my whole board is... my whole board got nothing on that. So, yeah, that's something you need to be aware of. So, I'll probably do this, I don't know. Don't know how long we're going to do this. This is literally just, I thought I would do a stream while I'm doing it. And then if you guys did have any questions, or if you guys see something that I don't see, just let me know, that'd be really cool. So again, shuffle out. I know this is all random, but this is basically how I do my testing phases. Like at the end of the day, if I try and cheat and I'm like, oh cool, all right, well I know the greens are this and I know this are this. The only person I'm cheating is myself. Like I've not got someone I'm facing, and this is just for me to go right. Okay, well, do I like it this way? I don't even pay attention to what I'm shuffling. I just turn my head away, like you should do at all events, and just shuffle anyway. Even if you draw your hand, it's all completely random. So. Hello, Sonic Nicholas. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this again is quite an interesting hand. You've got the option like to early Foolish Burial, and with the early Foolish Burial, I've actually got a couple of plays where I think I can go Brave Engine, and I can get the Ogre plays. Let me just confirm this. This one will send one to get me maybe I can't actually. I mean obviously the simplest route is you would go Ogre Dance, get you Z-Armin, and then you've got the combo off of Foxy Tune. Like you just do your play. A riskier one is you could Foolish Burial Foolish Burial Water Enchantress, banish that, get your token, activate the token, get your Griffin Rider. That protects everything going forward so that this doesn't get ashed or drolled or anything like that. In doing so, what that will then mean is you will sacrifice another card of your Foxy Tune. Let's do it that way. Like, I need to test it this way anyway. So, obviously, if I held back the Foolish Burial as well, this can become a Therion for something that I mill later on. So, if I went the original route, you'd probably go add Z-Armin, normal summon Z-Armin, effect to add any P.U.N.K, and then Foxy Tune can discard itself, plus another one to give you the level 5. You get into the Synchro, but then it shuts off the entire Brave Engine. Like, you don't get any piece of it at all. So even if you mill stuff, it still kind of sucks. Another option is that you could Foxy Tune into Z-Armin. Actually, yeah, I think you could. Let's do it that way. Draco Back's probably the worst card. Again, there's no protection if I do it this way, though. Or is there? Do I do it better? Let's go the most protected route. So Foolish Burial, War Enchantress, Spanish War Enchantress. So like both those target straight away like Ash fodder, and it's like go on in, Ash me, do what you want to do. I will get Fateful Adventure eventually. Rite of Armoricia, activate the right. Spawn the token, activate the Fateful Adventure. Because I've already got the equipped in hand, I could use it to discard. So It does mean that I lose my entire hand though, but there's no other way. I'm just trying to figure out if there's any other way for me to gain advantage off of this, and I don't think there is. So we're going to activate Fateful Adventure. We'll add the Griffin, and we will discard the Draco back, which will then re-equip to the token, and then we'll activate the Griffin to summon it down. Now straight away, I'm protected from all my plays I want to do going forward from this point here. So what I do is I would use Foxy Tune plus the Ash Blossom. You'd only do that if you're confident that your opponent's not got Dark Rule or anything, because you feel that the board you're going to produce is going to far outweigh what your opponent's going to produce. So Foxy Tune will then go into Z Armin. You activate Z Armin's effect, pay 600 life points to add the Deer Note. This is obviously a very long-winded way of going about things, but keep in mind we haven't even used our normal summon, so you still got that going for you as well. You then activate Deer Note, reveal Ogre Dance to special summon itself. Now, of course, you've burned your entire hand out, you've got absolutely nothing, but that's not an issue. You're able to still, you're going to make quite a lot of plays from this. So your Chaos Ruler's effect is going to go off Chain Link 1. Your Deer Note is going to go Chain Link 2. Again, I'm going to get really greedy, and I'm going to bring back the Foxy Tune. We'll shuffle this up, and we'll go for our top. At least with this as well. The reason I'm like trying to fit this in is because I've got a main deck out to Mystic Mine. Like if Mystic Mine spikes in popularity, or already has spiked in popularity, I've still got ways to make. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, cool. So we milled at least a light and dark, so I get to add the Veiler to the hand, which is good. And then we've got the 2 here, so we're going to go Zombie Vampire, and we're going to use the effect. Now again, this is really risky, but because I've got this can be my normal summon, and then this will then fit in anyway. But what you want to hit off of the top 4 is you want to hit a tuner, which is exactly what we've done, which is great. So you get to summon back any of these. I'm going to summon back, again, still haven't done our normal summon, keep that in mind as well. So Z Armin, doesn't matter which one you bring back. Like, I mean, if you bring back a Veiler, you've got another level 8 here. But I advise never getting rid of this unless you're replacing it for an Omni Negate, which basically means unless you're going to make these into a Baron, never do it. You're then going to link these 2 together for Hali Fibrax. You can then use Hali Fibrax effect again. This is probably where I'd upgrade this to a Baron, because I've got Jet Synchron in the grave. So do I have any level 3 tuners left? I do. So we'll bring out Ghost Ogre. This is also where you'd probably, like, this is where I'm juggling around with the Rose package as well. Because obviously in this scenario, I would summon out Rose, and then I'd make Baron, and then just off the back of that, I would then have routes into a Riser Dragon, which could get me Snow, or can get me Token Collector. So that's where, like, the kind of juxtapositions coming in of, do I want to add additional bricks to the deck? It's already at 50 cards, which is why I'm testing. So you then upgrade those and go into a Baron. And because you've already got Jet in the graveyard, you banish a light and a dark, which can be the Vampire. And you're going to summon out your Chaos Dragon. And then you would have to sacrifice the Veiler in the hand for the Jet Synchron. And then you turn these 2, both getting banished, into a Hot Red. And then obviously with this board, what you can now do is you can pass your opponent's turn. This token is like complete empty fodder. So then what you do here is, during your opponent's turn, as long as they don't Dark Ruler you, Imperm you, everything like that, you can tag the Hali Fibrax out into a, well, you can go for a Formula Synchron if you want, but I don't play a level 6, so I'll actually go for the Riser Dragon. Riser Dragon's effect will trigger, and that will send me either Token Collector, Fairy Tale Snow, or if I wanted it to, it could send me a Water Enchantress for a follow-up the next turn. I believe, so we'll go with Snow because my graveyard's pretty stacked. I'm not really worried about trying to go for a follow-up this turn. I'd actually rather try to protect. Now the issue is these 2 make another 7, which is why I'm contemplating putting a 7 in, putting like a Dawn Dragster in, because then what I can do is I can then turn these, because this is now dead, into a Dawn Dragster, and then at least I've got another form of interruption. But I'm not completely sure on that yet. Yeah, then you've also got the Dagda Scythe route. I said at the start I'm contemplating Lambda because I'm playing the Gamma package. Like, there's just so many options for this that it's really, really difficult. Like, I'm not like the deck's insanely good. It's really fun. It's just trying to find the right path as a player for what you prefer to play, and then obviously making sure that it's good enough to work for you. Like at the end of the day, if you put this together and it just doesn't suit your play style, you don't enjoy playing it, then you're not going to want to take it to a regional. You're not going to want to take it to a Nats, because then you're going to be playing like 7, 8, 9, 10 rounds of something you don't actually enjoy. And then this hand is garbage. So like the Disc Coliseum, like I get to add a Therion, which is great, but then I've got nothing else. Like literally, I'm sitting on set this, set that, and then that's it. I've got nothing. So, but I can't. The issue with this is, it's like, okay, maybe you could argue that you don't need to play Designator, you don't need to play that, you don't need to play that. Like, just completely shake the table. You could argue that you don't need to play these, but you would still play these anyway. You might cut the ball, but it's like basically the way it works is you put ball in going second, you put Foom in going first, but you main both of them, so then you can just adapt it as you see fit. But yeah, that hand was weird. But you, again, it's a 50 card deck. Like I'm seeing all of those cards, apart from the field spell, were one-offs. So it's like, you know, how much analysis can you add to that? How much change can you do for that? Anyway, cross out again. Oh, apart from cross out, actually, cross out's a 2 of. And then this hand's beautiful. So again, these are the ones where it's like, if you get hands like this where you don't see the Brave Engine, you're completely happy. But then, like, if I was to replace, for example, Ash for the Brave package, that's when it gets tricky. But then if I was to replace Z Armin for E-Telly and this for the Brave package, the hand's broken. So yeah, it's very tricky, very, very tricky. I've seen a lot of people cut the P.U.N.K engine right down, so you play like 1 Z Armin or 2 Z Armins at max with like 1 or 2 ogres. So it is like, where do I go to? Anyway, this hand's actually pretty decent. So you normal summon Z effect. You're kind of protected here because you've got cross out. So Imperm, Veiler, Ogre, Ash, you're completely fine. Which is why, again, it's also why I'm playing Designator. And again, it's one of them ones where it's like, right, well, if you want to get the deck down to a 40 card deck, do you just take out the Designators and the hand traps, or how do you want to go about it? Anyway, Z Armin, add Foxy. Ogre, discard for... I mean, you can do it one or two ways. You could go straight for Deer Note, and then you can use Deer Note from hand, or you can add the Yokoi, and then do it this way. Again, this is another reason where I like the idea of playing the Spider. Like, I get why people play this, because if you open up Foxy Tune, Foxy Tune can get you into Z Armin, and then Z Armin can get you into this, and then this can fuse, and then it will still give you your level 8 synchro. Like, I get that. But then there's times like, alright, well, if this was Madam Spider, then just imagine this was Madam Spider. Okay, so I activate Foxy Tune, it resolves, I get everything I need. I just get additional bonuses off of what I want to get. Now, if I was doing that, you could arguably cut out an Imperm. Again, it's just working out spaces. So then what you do here is you go, right, okay, cool, I've got my same play. The only time that this play would go to crap would be, so you go Chaos Ruler, you go Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, and then you'd bring back the Spider, and then you'd obviously do the mill, hope you don't mill the trap, pay the 600 for the Spider, and then you got your Hulk plays. So rather than going for additional mills or for the Zombie Vampire, you would go for that route. So, you know, kind of good. Evening Yas. Anyway, we'll go with because I've not got Spider, we'll go with the 8 route. So top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Broken. We'll take the Crow. Thank you very much. Yeah, and then we've got Lily. Lily is now active as well. So, I'm actually going to mill a couple more, because if I mill, like, there's no negative mill right now. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Tuner, yay! Well, I mean, there would have been a negative mill if I didn't get a tuner, but like I said, you've got 8 chances. Any updates on Dark Magician? I did an update when the banish dropped. And And in that update, I think I did two. I did one which was Dynamorphia, which is control, which is really fun but is quite risky. And then the other one is branded, just because it's kind of just, it's very basic. And what I mean by that is it gets you to Dragoon. So the thing we've got right now is we're kind of in this position of we're in this position where it's like, do you go Red Eyes Turbo? And if you go Red Eyes Fusion Turbo, you need to be able to protect it from Ash at all cost, because if that gets stopped, it's game over. With Branded Fusion, you can kind of play around it a little bit, and it does open up the doors for other stuff like Mirror Jade. But I think with Super Poly is also a big issue for Dark Magicians, because then straight away they just go, okay, normal summon anything and out it. Mirror Jade can out it. Like, Dark Magician was in such a power position when Dragoon was such an indestructible boss monster, but now, like, the one negate off a Dragoon, or the fact that it can't be destroyed, isn't the end of the world. Like, if you negate a Branded Fusion and they've got a second Branded Fusion, because you negate the activation, they can just activate it again and they'll still get the same results. It's still a great boss monster. I feel that the best version of the deck would be a control version. The only issue with that is, in order to make it as successful as possible, you will need to be able to play Secret Village of the Spellcasters, because you can't afford to get super polyed. And then you'd also be playing like more back row. So I would arguably be playing stuff like Gozens, Rivalries, and just pretty much shutting stuff down from there. Like, Secret Village is such a cool play, because there's the only spellcaster that is running around right now is the Brave package. And that's where, if you're playing Rivalry and everything else of it, you're basically just playing Dark Magician Floodgate. Can be really, really strong. Anyway, so getting back to this. So we've got these two on board. You're then going to sync link these two together. And you're going to go into Halley Firebrax. Halley Firebrax effect will go off. Did I mill Jet Synchron again? I think I did, didn't I? No, I didn't. Wow, first time for everything. So you'd summon out Jet Synchron. Or where is it? That one here. Mystic Mine. Mystic Mine doesn't really do anything for DMs, to be honest. Like, they're not exactly like a powerhouse deck. It would work in order to control resource and get yourself back up to basics. But the issue is, like, Dark Magician don't really have that one card combo that's going to lead them everywhere. Like, don't get me wrong, if your opponent's got a board and you just go, cool, activate Mystic Mine, and then you can activate your Red Eyes Fusion, like, that's great, because then you go activate Red Eyes Fusion, they can't ash you, you're completely protected. Dragoon then goes, cool, Dragoon pop 2, and then Dragoon attack should lead to game. So, but that would mean that they need to have 3 monsters on the board, otherwise you lock yourself under your own Mystic Mine, and then unless you can get to Secret Village, or arguably on the flip side to that, what I would do is I would actually play the field spell that we have. I can't remember what it's called now. But the reason I would do that is because you could then, it's searchable. So once you blow up their board, get out their negates that they can't negate you, you then get to replace the field spell with the DM field spell or Secret Village, and then you'll be able to push the game without any worry. So we summoned out Jet Synchron. No, I don't believe. Let me just double check this. We didn't do the token. We've used our normal summon. We've paid 600. Did we use our normal summon? Yeah, I believe we did. I'm 99% sure we've done our normal summon. Anyway, you're going to banish a Light in the Dark, so it'll be Zombie and Foxy Tune. You'll bring back your Chaos Ruler. You'll banish the Chaos Ruler. The Jet Synchron will go to the graveyard. You'll bring out your Hot Red. I've got Therion in the graveyard, so we'll use Lily. Lily will target Lily, and it will send itself from the from the field to the grave. You'll get the field spell. You'll activate the field spell. You'll get yourself a Regulus. Regulus will then target the Lily and bring it back, equipping it to itself. So then what you've got here is actually a really cool board, because you've got 2 hand traps, plus you've got cross out, and then during your opponent's turn, you can Hulk into Formula. Formula will let you draw a card, nice, and then you can sink these two because you don't need it into a Baron. So you've got pretty much 3 Omni Negates. Favorite DM YouTuber, great source all around. Keep it a great work. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. There's a lot of really good DM YouTubers out there. I feel that there's a lot. There's those that do it for passion, which is fair. Is fair enough. And then there's those that just do it for the views. So like I love Dark Magician. One of my proudest moments ever as a player was topping a region with Dark Magician. Like I've never felt. I've been playing this game for like I played it when it first came out. I took a break. I came back during Duelist Alliance format, but like that achievement to me was like the highlight of my entire Yu-Gi-Oh playing like career, if I suppose that's what you call it. So yeah, but the Wind of Dragoon combo was like I love that. Back before Super Poly was a prominent thing, it was near impossible for your opponent to break. Because it's like, cool, you've got one special summon, I've got a Dragoon, and I've got Window. And it's still possible, like it's still very, very good. The issue is you lose a lot of consistency. So what you need for that, what Verte actually gave, which is a lot of people have overlooked it, is a lot of people thought that Verte was just, okay, cool, Verte is Dragoon. It's like, yes, it is, but what Verte also allowed you to do is it also allowed you to turn Soul Servant into a draw 2. And now we don't have that. So, like, that draw 2 is probably more damaging to us than just generally having Verte. And what I mean by that is for the pure fact that we have cards that will get us to Dragoon. Getting to Dragoon is not an issue. We've got 3 Branded Fusion, plus 3 Aluba, plus 3 Red Eyes Fusion, plus 3 Red Eyes Insight. So if we wanted to go hard to get to Dragoon, we can do. The issue was repairing after the fact. So once you did the Verte combo, you played so many cards, you baited out your opponent's hand traps, you then made Verte, you then got a Dragoon, you then got additional draws, and replenished your hand. Now we don't have that. That being said, the fact that we now don't have that also gives you the option, should you want to play something like Pot of Prosperity, which I feel is probably the best draw card for the deck, if you are to be digging for a Red Eyes Fusion. Because I feel like I haven't fully tried it yet, but I would still play not Triple Nadir Servant because you can't play 3. I would still play 2 Nadir Servant, I'd play 3 Red Eyes Fusion, I'd play 3 Pot of Prosperity, 3 Magician's Rod, 2 Illusion of Chaos, 1 Seravis, and then Magician's Souls. And I would take the reliance of the draw off of Soul Servant and put it back on Prosperity. Good evening, Zephyr. Can you recommend Punk ABC anymore? I like it, but it always bricks on too many tuners. Plus 2 poor for Brave Engine. Yeah, that's why I'm doing this now. Is I love the fact that the ABCs could have a resurgence. Because ABCs are really fun. They're really powerful. Like, I think it's one of the coolest boss monsters around. And it pretty much defined a format, which is really cool. But my issue with it now is you need the Brave Engine to play it, because the Brave Engine, in theory, gives you an additional discard. I didn't like the fact that when I played it, I had to go into like Barricade Board Blocker just to discard, or I had to go into Desert Locust during my turn just to discard. Like, to me, that just wasn't good. And I didn't really enjoy it. But with the Punks, I'm actually quite enjoying them. I like the consistency of it. Hope Konami give us more DM support in the upcoming set. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. Like, they've just given us that level 5 Spellcaster, which technically isn't a Dark Magician card, but is a... I think it's like... Oh, we also got the Mystical Elf as well. So we get the Mystical Elf as a promo in the Legendary Duelist Season 3, where if you control a level 5 or higher normal, you can special summon her. I can't remember if she's a tuner. Let me have a quick look. If she's a tuner, then that's kind of cool, because that'll open up some synchro plays, depending on what level she is. Mystical Elf White Lightning. She's not a tuner, which is really sad. When a monster your opponent controls activates its effect while you control a level 5 or higher normal monster, quick effect you can special summon this card from the hand. And if you do, negate that effect. During your opponent's battle phase, quick effect you can target one normal monster in your graveyard, special summon it to your field, and if you do, all monsters your opponent controls must attack that monster this turn, if able, while you control it. You can only use a Mystical Elf, White Lightning once per turn. Like, it's kind of a cool techie card, but it's pretty blah. Oh, yo, there's a Dark Magician dice. No way. How did someone get that? Sorry, I'm just going through a... Oh, here we go. Ah, there we go. Soul Servant is a secret reprint. Magician Souls is an ultra rare reprint. Malicious Bane's got a reprint. Sangan, Predator Practice, Tuning, Junk Converter. Guiltiar, the D-Knight Soul Spear. If you control no monsters, you can normal summon this card without attributing. When this card is normal, you can banish one monster your opponent controls with equal attack, blah blah blah. Oh, yo, Predaplant Tyro Therion has been reprinted as a secret. That's pretty cool. And C40 Gimmick Puppet Dark Strings. Magician's Robe, yay. Because everyone asked for that. More lead S3 leaks. Oh, I need to get a Dark Magician dice now. I'd like to show you your Dark Magician build sometime if I'm free, whenever really. I know you're super busy, but when you get a chance. If you, well, I don't know if you can send pictures on this, can you? If you send it, if you're able to send it to either our Instagram or Facebook as like a YGO Pro picture, that would be ideal. Because then like that's when I'll have time to look at it, and then I'll be able to give you some feedback on it as well if that's what you want. But I'm more than happy to take a look. Also, if you let me know what route you want to go down, like if you're like, I don't like doing control, like I don't just like setting 5 and sitting there, then I'll be able to look at it a different way. But if you're like, I just want the best playable way without having to break the bank, then I can look at that as well. How much am I going to have to pay for... I need to get more of these chips as well. Yeah, send it to us over Instagram. I'll be more than happy to take a look at it for you. There is a special edition dice, which is the Dark Magician dice. £10. Okay, I need to get the Dark Magician dice. That does look pretty cool. I mean, it's just Dark Magician's face on a purple dice. Unreleased. What does unreleased mean? Looks like people have got the Legendary Duelist Season 3 a little bit early. Let me just ask the questions, otherwise you never get the answers. Sorry, I wasn't expecting to get all of these. Any recommendations for? Yeah, um, I'll have a look at it and I'll see what options there are for it and what. Is the dice confirmed or is it just one of many? Because I remember seeing the dice and the dice were pretty. I don't know who's got these. I'm just looking online and people have got the Legendary Duelist Season 3 available already. But I didn't think it came out until July. Any recommendations for ABC deck without the Brave engine? ABC Punk is possible because in theory the way you've got to look at it is E-Telly. I'll show you in a second, but E-Telly, I believe, if I get this right in my head, is a 1.5 card combo that mills 9 cards. So, as you can imagine, that's pretty decent. Just bear me 2 seconds. It's not really a booster box, is it? It's... there it is. Legendary Duelist. Yeah, 21st of July. How are people getting these? This is one with the Hero dice, the Neos dice, the Dark Magical Circle dice. Sorry guys, bear with me 2 seconds. Okay, cool. Thanks, Terry. Okay. So let's just got my Punk cards in the week. Okay, Punk. Oh, Punk agents look so fun. I really should build them. Yeah, I think agents are really fun, and I haven't had a chance to play the Punks yet, but it's really cool. Let's see, did I get in this hand? I didn't get in this hand, but I'll show. Also, hopefully you're still on Easlow, but I'll show you the combo. So E-Telly. There's probably a new way to do this, but anyway. Let's go E-Telly plus, and this can also be Z-Armin. It does the same thing, but the idea is you go E-Telly, and then just apply this to ABC. Obviously, with Z-Armin, you have to conduct your normal. If this is Z-Armin, that's your normal summon. If it's E-Telly, so what you could do is instead of the Brave package, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards, you could play 3 E-Telly, 3 Foxy Tune, and 1 Deer Note, 1 Ogre, and 1 of the Fusion one. But basically you E-Telly into wherever it is. Where are you? Z-Armin. Z-Armin pays 600 life points to add Foxy Tune. Now just imagine that, like, again, put this in perspective of ABC, okay? Imagine you've activated the field spell and you've searched out an ABC piece, and this is an ABC piece, okay? So you go Foxy Tune, discard the ABC piece. This will then give you your Deer Note. You then sync these together for Chaos Dragon. You go Chainlink 1, Chaos Dragon, Chainlink 2, Deer Note. Deer Note will bring back your Foxy Tune. You then go mill the top 5, so it doesn't matter what 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you mill a piece, you get to add it back to the hand. If you don't, if you don't want to add it, it all goes to the graveyard. So again, like, imagine one of these 5 cards was a piece, right? You then make an 8, which will be your zombie vampire. You'll ditch the 8. You'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, imagine one of these is the piece. Straight away, that's ABC already in your graveyard. You're done. But even if it's not, you still have the place to mate. Now, obviously, if I milled a tuner in this, and obviously 4 from my opponent, then I would summon that tuner back, and then that gives me Hulk plays. So you then go Hulk. Hulk can then bring out Torque Gear if you want to, but what you're probably going to do more times than not is you just bring out Jet Synchron. And this is all without your normal summon as well, because this came from E-Telly. So let's say you then went... Luckily, I think I've still got all the ABC stuff here. I'll double check in a sec. This is all the ABC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, cool. There's 14 cards there. I'll tell you what I'll do. Just for you as well, is we will... Let's do this now. Let's live test. Let's take out the Brave package. And let's live test ABC P.U.N.K Therion. Now, obviously I'd make a lot of changes to this, so I'm going to try and take out 14 cards, and then we'll work it from there. So we're going to take out the Brave package. Still keep everything else in though. What have I got there? 1, 2, yeah, cool. Okay, so that's my Brave package. That's taken out. I'm going to take out... I don't think there's anything I want to take out of that. Let's take Ogre Dance down to 1. So I've got to take out 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9, 10, 11. I've got to check what I've got in here now. Let's take out Dukes. Actually, let's keep duking. So I'm on 11. Let's take out you. Let's take out you. Snow's still pretty good. Now this won't be perfect. There'd probably still be a couple more changes that you'd make, but just for this purpose right here, we can test it out. How many Z's have I got? One. Have I legit only got 1 Z in here? 1 Z, 1 Ogre. 1 Z, 1 Ogre, 1 Z, 1 Ogre. I was only rocking 1 Z. I was only rocking 2 Z, 2 Ogre anyway. There you go. I'll change those back in a minute. Let's shuffle this up. Keep an eye on this because my phone is going wild at the moment. On the bright side. Okay, so let's see how this goes. We'll do a couple of these. What is the time now? Oh, it's 5 to 9 already. Okay. This will be. We'll end it on this. We'll do that. We'll do this. This will be not one test hand. We'll do a couple of test hands, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not a nice hand. It's actually a terrible hand. Okay, cool. This is a 50 card deck as well at the moment, so keep that in mind. For the ABC one, I would try very, very hard to get it down to 40. So I'd cut out another 10 cards, but we'll do that in a minute. If I need to, I'll cut out 10 more cards. Do I lose to Imperm? Do I worry about Imperm that much? Probably not. Could probably take out the whole cross-out route. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is broken. So we're going to activate set rotation, and we're not going to get imperm, we're not going to get even lead, which is beautiful. We'll give our opponent, and hope they're not playing Therions, we'll give them this Colosseum, we'll give ourselves Hanger. We'll activate Hanger, we'll add A to the hand. Oh, don't want to. Don't want to maximise my mills first. I probably want to maximise the mills first. So we won't activate Hanger yet. I'd keep that face down. I probably don't even... Well, yeah, the reason we do set rotation is so we don't get impermed. Activate E-Telly. E-Telly brings out one copy of Z-Armin. There we go. Z-Armin pays 600 life points and gives you Foxy. Activate Foxy, discarding itself as cost, and then once it resolves, discard Snow. That will then give you your Deer Note. There we go. You will then sync these together. Chainlink 1 this, Chainlink 2 Z-Armin. Not Z-Armin, sorry, Deer Note. And we're going to bring back Foxy Tune, because the idea of this play is you want to mill as much as you possibly can. So you don't really care too much about a Halley Fibrax play, you just want to mill. So we're going to mill 5 on this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We get to add Foxy Tune back to the hand. It's not great because we didn't mill any pieces, which is quite annoying. But we'll be able to get the last 2 pieces anyway. So you go into Zombie Vampire, you detach your material. You go 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. We finally got a piece. Do I want to summon any of these back? Yeah, we'll summon back Jet Synchron. Keeping in mind again, we haven't used our normal summon. Activate Union Hanger. Union Hanger's effect will go off to give us B. Normal B, effective Union Hanger, equipped it with... I mean, you don't even need to worry about the Torch Tune gear. So if you've opened up the Union Driver, this kind of stops the whole brick issue, I suppose. Union Driver, tag that out, go into Torch Tune, and then Torch Tune will eventually summon itself. So in theory, I don't actually need to bring back the Jet Synchron. I could have gone for a Trish play. Anyway, so, still got to get a discard out of the hand though. I suppose this is where you would then go Barricade Ball blocker, because you've got all of this. So you'd go oh no, you do Barricade afterwards. So you'd get B off the board and put B and Jet in the grave. Go into Halley Fibrax. Halley Fibrax effect would go off to bring out any tuner from the deck. So we'll bring out Ghost Ogre. Actually, no, we've got a discard off a Jet Synchron. What am I talking about? B's effect would go off, and this would give me C. And this is, I suppose, this is where it gets great. Is I've now got too many tuners on the board. Oh well. I mean, maybe you could then, in theory. No, I would still keep it just to be safe. Don't want to use the Jet Synchron effect. Use the Jet Synchron effect. Send C. Summon itself back. You've got your A, B, C pieces in the grave, so your B, yeah, and then your A. You also got to bring in, I suppose that's what you could do first, is you could actually banish. Oh, we also did Argo system, but I'll deal with that later. I need to get Foxy Tune to the graveyard. Yeah, keep Jet Synchron there. All you got to do is get rid of these. So again, this can be Barricade Ball blocker. It can be, I suppose it could be Dagda actually. Again, this isn't the extra deck setup for this, but let's say it was Dagda. So we're just going to use this as Dagda, if you wanted to go that route anyway. So you got that as Dagda, and then you've got the ability to banish a light and a dark to summon back the Chaos Ruler. This will then get banished with Jet Synchron, and this will then give you your Hot Red, and then I suppose he's just trying to trigger a monster effect, but you'd basically go for you can go for Scythe Lock, and you'd still have 3 cards in hand to play with, and you'd have Buster Dragon. So you'd have Buster Dragon, Hot Red, Scythe Lock, and this Torturing gear is just spare. Like, this could be used to go like if you could get a monster effect to trigger on the field, you could actually, or a card effect to trigger, you could actually go into like Appaloosa. That's pretty cool. All right, well, we can do. I'll do one more test stand with this, or one more successful test stand, I should say, and then I'll call that a night. But it should. Let me get rid of that notification. So I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what I'll do, just to wrap this up. I'll take it to the very basic for you now that I've kind of got my head around where you would go for it. So let's go with E-Telly and a random discard, okay? Actually, I'll tell you what, the random discard will draw. So you can do King Calamity, yeah. So you would summon out. I'm trying to think, you go to, well, yeah, literally if you leave the Tortune gear on the board, you activate the hot red, and then you go into Formula Synchron, draw a card, which is good for your Buster Dragon, and then you can sync up. So we'll do this. We'll do this as our natural opening hand. So as long as you've got E-Telly, that's kind of what you want. So we'll go with 4 cards. So the 4 random cards we've got in our hand will be these 4 here. Okay. Now I'm just going to use these as random cards. It was just to see if any of them was a piece, but it'll be a random discard now. So E-Telly on its own, not conducting your normal summon, gets you into Z-Armin. Z-Armin effect will trigger. Now this is obviously why I would want to play, in this version anyways, why I'd want to play Cross Out, is because this loses to pretty much everything, like Imperm Veiler and Imperm Veiler, Ogre, Ash, you name it, it hurts. So the only issue you've now got is you've now got to go get the P.U.N.K cards, which these are stupid prices at the moment. Anyway, so there's our Foxy. You'd then use Foxy's effect, discard itself, plus another random to get you your Near Dote, or your Dear Note. Sync these together. There you go. We're not going to count Snow as a card. I'm just going to show you the basic minimum of what you've got. Chaos Ruler for the top 5, and Dear Note will bring back. So again, this will all come down to your mills. You've still got your normal summons. So, and I haven't put Terraforming in here as well, which will definitely need to be in it. So we'll bring back Foxy Tune. We'll do the top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can add Union Drive just for general discard. Oh, well then, to be fair, you don't even really need to worry about the Therion engine. Like, nothing we've done in these combos actually needs the Therion engine. So, detach 1. Which is actually, 2, 3... would actually be better for you then, because then that'll actually take it down to I'll tell you what, let's do that then. Let's do our final test stand then, and I'll take out the Therions as well. That'll actually take us down to a 40 card deck. You'd have to run a second field spell, I would say, just to make set rotation live, but you can pretty much run anything. So let's take out the Therions. So again, we're cutting this down even further, so it increases our consistency. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay, cool. So we're now at a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 38, which is fine, because then you'd be looking at Terraforming and some other bits. Yeah, Regulus is cool. Yeah, Pseudo Space is fine. Tell you what, let's put another Z-Arm in. Let's put an Ogre in there just to make it up to the 40. It is cool, but it's like at the end of the day, unless you've got, like, what is it? Reguluses are like 60 quid each, and then you got your plants at 30 quid each. So you're looking at like nearly £300 just for a mini engine. So let's play it with what you've got at the moment, and then you can see what it can do. So we'll do this as the last one for the night. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why every time? We might not actually need this though, so this might be okay. E-Telly. And the best thing is I can actually make Riser as well, which is cool. So E-Telly into Z. Z effect, pay 600 to add Foxy. Do I want Foxy or do I want Ogre? I don't need Foxy actually. Let's go with Ogre. Ogre? Yeah, Ogre for... Where are you? This guy. And then Dear Note, reveal itself with this guy. This guy goes to the graveyard. Sync these into this guy. Chaining 1, chaining 2. We'll bring back the Ogre Dance. We'll mill the top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Don't want to add any of these. I suppose you're better off adding one just for like general fodder. So okay, and then overlay these into the 8. Detach for 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. There's our second piece. Can summon any of these back. So let's summon back. Doesn't really matter because whatever's going to be used is going to be used as link fodder anyway. Then you can normal summon the C, link these together into anything. Barricade, Borg, Blocker, any link to. At the moment, all I've got access to is Halifibrax. But then that puts you A, B, and C in the grave. So without Union Carrier, from 2 cards, you've got your ABC Buster Dragon. And if you were to get, we've also still got the ability to get this on board. Could we have done more? I think we could have done more actually. Yeah, we could have. I'm going to take that back a little bit. Where did we get to? So I summoned back A. I had C in the hand. So what you can do here is you actually normal summon the tuner. So normal summon the Torch Tune gear. Link sync these into Halifibrax. Halifibrax's effect triggers and gives you Jet. You then, have we got lights and darks in the graveyard? Yep, so you banish the Torch Tune gear and you banish... Oh no, we've got no darks. What the heck? Oh, my dark's there. Damn it. This is fine. Because then you just need to link these off. So link those off into anything. Let's say Dagda, I suppose. Banish a dark. And a light. Summon back Chaos Ruler. Use Jet Synchron's effect to discard the C. I also missed the A effect, but you really don't want to be adding A back to anything back from the hand. Then you can sync these together. Both of these are going to get banished to give you a hot red. And then you got C, A, B, gives you the ABC Buster Dragon. And then you're good to roll from there. And then you have the ability for Halifibrax to tag out to bring you into Rise of Dragon, or to send you like Fairy Tale Snow, to send you Token Collector and stuff like that, really. But yeah, okay, cool. Well, I hope this has helped you. I think I've got a newfound understanding of the ABC part of this, to be fair. It's definitely not the route that I personally want to be taking right now. TG1 Magician is possible. If you're going to do that, I would highly advise the Dagda Scythe play, which is something I'm testing out in this build as it is. There we go. Boom. But yeah, hopefully that gives you kind of like a look of what you may or may not want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Look at that. Perfect. So you can either treat it as a 14 card ABC package, or you can treat it as a something else. Cool. All right. Well, thank you for every single one of you that joined me. I hope you found this helpful for anyone that's watching or anyone that asked a question. Hopefully I answered them for you, and kind of go from there. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, as absolutely always, guys, have a very good evening, and we'll probably be back at some point. Take care. Bye.